How about you, Sundar? Are you practicing there? Acha, you are doing sujok, isn't it, Sundar?
Sir, I'm not practicing. I'm working here in Abu Dhabi as in a hospital IT department. So this is just my passion. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So, as the two of you have not really followed me for a long, so I shall give you some idea of basically. You see, what we are going to do is that we are going to have three aspects of these vessels. So, we will talk about their trajectories and their trajectories, and how they help in the treatment, and what are the rules for treatment. So these three things we have to know. Now, acupressure, acupuncture, as you know, ये एक therapy है. This is a therapy. How it works? It works by regulating chi. What do we regulate? We regulate the quantity and quality of chi. By regulating it, we reestablish health, or protect people from falling sick. Chi kya hai, you should know before we really go, because the two of you are very new. So who can tell me what is chi out of the four? Dr. Varshney, are you there here, or you are traveling?
I'm there.
आप बताएंगे chi क्या है? Who is this Chetan? I don't know.
He is the basic fabric of the creation. The chi is the basic fabric of creation and it's available in bundles.
Bundles of what?
Bundles of yin or yang.
Waves, bundles of waves.
Who said that? It's a process. Well
Bundle,
said, Sundar.
Bundle of waves. Yeah.
Very good.
Thank
yes.
you, Tesh.
Very good, Sundar. You well said. It's a process.
Sir, I have been watching your previous videos.
It's a process. You're also very correct, Dr. Rahul. Chi is very difficult to really understand what is chi. Rahul is correct. You are correct. Someone else will say something. He may also be correct. He or she. How about you, Venkatesh? What is chi?
Yeah, I said only, sir. A bundle of waves.
Acha, you only said. Okay, okay. Now, look here. Remember one thing, that this creation came into existence. Creation means there are uh, three phases available in the creation: solids, liquids, and gases. Right? All these three kinds of things have come to exist. Uh, and how it has come to exist? What we know is that it has come to exist out of waves. What are waves? Some sound, some vibration. It is the vibration. Now, the modern science has also proved that anything and everything, whether it is solid, liquid, or gas, there is molecules which are always moving. In the molecules, even the basic fundamental particles are moving. Everything is moving, and they are also, what are electrons? Now they say that they are waves. So now the modern science and physics has also accepted. So this whole creation came out of the primordial vibration. What is that vibration? We call it in India, we know as a pranav. Right now we have done Omkar, right? So something of that sort. Now this got materialized. This got materialized, and this is the soul factor, is, as Dr. Rahul said, is the fabric of creation. Everything got made up. Only thing is that, you see, the female body has a part known as uterus. Uterus, you can say that it is a kind of, it's kind of a vessel, kind of a bucket, kind of a container where you can hold water or anything, tea or whatever. And not only that, the reproduction of a newborn child, which is happening inside the womb of mother, how does it take place? It takes place only by virtue of the two things meeting together, that is the ovum and the sperm. And after they meet, the two kinds of forces are activated. Do you know, Siddharma, what are those two forces?
Enhance, sir.
No, the electrical force and the magnetic force. Hello, because you are new. Sundar is also new. He may not be knowing. The two basic forces which are responsible for any kind of movement or vibration by virtue of which everything is created, there are two forces, the electrical force and the magnetic force. The magnetic force is already available. We know of it. On the planet Earth, we have a magnetic field. The force of gravitation is the expression of that magnetic force. Not only the Earth, there are the whole planetary system in our solar system. They all have, every body. Now, if you know a little bit of physics, the force of gravitation, every mass has a force of gravitation. So that is the magnetic field which is influencing. And where does this comes? The electrical force? The electrical force comes out of the ovum. The ovum, which is generated in the body of the female, that is working like semiconductors. Have you heard of semiconductors, all of you? If you do not know about semiconductors, I shall tell you. But if you know, it's okay. So now these semiconductors are providing the electricity. And the sperm is necessarily initiating all process, the movement. And it is giving certain kind of initial vibrations which are required. And the zygote, which is formed because of the sperm and the ovum, that starts multiplying, and the movements start because of these two forces, magnetic field and the electrical force, the magnetic force and the electrical force. So far, if you do not know anything about the physics, then it may be a difficult thing for you to digest. Now, what is happening after the multiplication? How does it start? The first thing is that it starts the separation. Endoderm and ectoderm. Have you heard of these two words, terminologies? No. So this zygote means a cell which is made out of ovum and sperm. That is known as zygote. What is zygote? Siddhamma? Siddhartha?
Union of sperm and ovum.
So half of the cell. Say 23 chromosomes from the mother, 23 chromosomes from the father. In the ovum and the sperm, they meet, and the 46, that is 23 pairs are completed. So one full cell, that is known as zygote. Now, In this is known as conception. In this, the movements start. How? So the ectoderm and endoderm, they start moving like this. And as they separate, the third thing, it tries to bind them together. See? Movement means what? Vibration means attraction, repulsion. Attraction, this is known as vibration. Everything has a vibration. See? Everything has a vibration and corresponding sound. So you can have a very unique sound for liver. You can have a unique sound for heart. You can have a unique sound for every organ, internal organ, and every limb, and every mood, and every emotion. Everything can be done through sound. Anyway, that is a different branch of science. So now you know that these three things are there. What are that? Ectoderm, endoderm, and in between is mesoderm. Now the meridians start forming right inside the womb of the mother. That forms. The two things are ectoderm and endoderm. These two, they are trying to bifurcate the cell into two. And the two are again broken into another, each of them into two, so four. And the four again breaks down into eight. By the time the whole child's body is made, all this is complete. But there is another thing which is also happening simultaneously inside the body. What is happening? By the time this multiplication and division of cells and starts, so they divide into two, two divides into four, four divides into eight, etc. There's another process also takes place, and that takes place in mesoderm. Mesoderm means that which fills every space. There is no place in your body where there is no mesoderm. Now, this mesoderm, because it has to keep the two things and the four things and the eight things, everything has to be kept together. Who is doing that? Mesoderm is doing that. And in doing so, because of the movement of different things inside, right, some ridges are formed. Right? Wherever there is a substantial and constant and repetitive movements, those ridges become very prominent. They are known as meridians. अगर आपकी समझ में नहीं आ रहा है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं. If you don't understand, because the two people who have never listened to me, Sundar and Siddhana, you may be having difficulty. But if you don't have difficulty, if you know a little bit of embryology, and if you know the Oriental knowledge, then it's okay. But if you do not know, you should know. समझ में आ
Sir, I
रही?
have a doubt.
Yes. क्या doubt है बोलो?
Yeah. So these meridians get formed when the baby is inside the womb itself, or when it comes outside?
It forms inside. It forms inside. Inside the womb. Everything. The child is delivered with meridians. Huh? Okay. And remember, because mesoderm is some substance which is filling up every nook and corner outside and inside of the organs and tissues, everything. So there is no place where there is no. Now, what is happening? These ridges from where this movement of, you can say, this chi. Chi is what? As he said, Sundar, it's a process. Number one, it's the energy required for the process. And it is the substrate on which the energy is functioning. And all the three together. Right? So this moves. And this movement through those ridges, or through those paths where this is repeated requirement of movement is required. So this keeps providing the movement. So there are two things going on simultaneously. One is the division. First, it is getting divided into two, ectoderm and endoderm, because of the pull, because of electrical force and magnetic force. And then that 2 again gets divided into 4, and 4 gets divided into 8. And in the same time, here, there are three things. One side is connected with ectoderm, the other side is connected with endoderm, and in between is mesoderm. So these three things, these three again, they divide it into 2 each, because they also bifurcate because of the forces. Which forces? Electrical and magnetic forces. So 3 becomes 6 and 6 becomes 12. So the 12 regular meridians, they come. So one side, the division into 8, they are known as vessels, about which not much is known, but they are the most basic things, because it is the ectoderm and endoderm which is responsible for the formation of all our internal organs and external organs, everything. And the connecting thing and supplying the chi is because of the meridians which are formed in the mesoderm. So now what we can say is that these meridians, they are in line in between those 8 vessels. Now 8 vessels are known as extraordinary vessels, or there are many names which we will know. And the meridians which have been formed in the same time, in the same place, the 12 regular meridians. So now you have an idea that 12 regular meridians are in such a way entangled inside that all the vessels are also connected to them. Is it clear, Dr. Rahul?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
समझ में आ रही है ना पूरी बात? एक इमेजिनेशन, एक आपके दिमाग में चित्र बन रहा है. Huh? You can have,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
if you are a little imaginative, you can have this. So there are 8 vessels, and there are 12 meridians which are very much interconnected. ये समझ में आ रही है? Some vessels are connected to some meridians, and some vessels are connected to some vessel. And meridians are formed because of the movement of chi on the ridges. And ridges are formed because of what? Because of the separation of 2, 4, 8. So we can say that the meridians are formed because the vessels are formed. Am I making my point? Now this is very important, and this is probably for the first time you are hearing, even Aparna. So this is a new understanding. How meridians are formed? Because the two most important things are ectoderm and endoderm. They are forming under the influence of electrical and magnetic force, right? Which are provided by, and the movement, which are provided by ovum, sperm, and the space, all the planetary things, whatever is there. So as they bifurcate 2 to 4, 4 to 8, in the process, these ridges are formed, and with that, the chi, the vibration is passing easily. So we can say that this is a kind of a, if you have a capacitor, condenser, and then you have a dielectric, right? So that it is working like that. You are getting some image formed in your mind. So the meridians are caused only because the vessels are formed. So we can say that vessels are the parents of meridians. If the vessels were not there to be formed, because the most important things are ectoderm and endoderm. Mesoderm is only the filling and connecting thing. Hello. Is it clear to everyone?
So, sir, we are condenser or capacitors?
No, no, condenser capacitor. You see, there's electrical charge as well as there is a magnetic force between the two plates of condenser or two surfaces of circular or cylindrical or plate, whatever. So this ectoderm and endoderm, right? They are separating, and in between is the mesoderm, right? So it's not a condenser or anything. I'm not saying that, but it is something like that. Because how is condenser? There are two plates, and in between they
Yes,
are having a material,
sir.
dielectric. You know?
Yes.
Yes, you want to ask something, Aparna?
Yes, I was not able to imagine. Now I could imagine what is happening.
Hmm.
Pranam, sir.
Oh, Hemlata, welcome. Now, so when they are getting separated, that's why all these regions and the meridians, etc., are forming. So what we can easily say that these vessels are the parents of the meridians.
Sir, to which month does the vessels and meridians form?
It starts somewhere around after. See, the life actually, you will have to understand what is life. You see, what we are doing, my style of study and teaching is that we try to see the Chinese wisdom through the lens of Indian wisdom. भारतीय ज्ञान के लेंस से हम चाइनीज विजडम को समझते हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि कोई कुछ भी कहे, सपोज आई एम टॉकिंग टू यू, आई एम ट्राइंग टू शेयर सम नॉलेज एंड some information with you. How you are understanding? Whatever you have already in your brain, whatever experience you have, you will understand anything what I say in relation to what you already know. You will understand it in your own way. You cannot understand in my way. But some people try to talk the Chinese language, which I am against of talking. I don't use Chinese terminology much, unless where there's essentially wherever it is essential, I may use, but otherwise I always avoid. Why? Because we should know, we should understand in our own language, in our own way. Whatever is the knowledge that we will try to understand in our own way, right? So in our own way, we have units of time, which nowhere in the world, they were so well known. One mandal is known as 48 days. So it starts only after nearly 48 days. And how does it start? It's a very big philosophy. Come to basics, level 1 and level 2. Sundar, we have a lot of time. We discuss 2-3 days, all this philosophy. So at the moment, you have understood how it starts. Have you heard the word pran, Sundar? Can you put on your camera? No, your camera will not work. You are in the office or something still?
Yes, sir, I've heard, yeah, prana.
You have heard.
I'm at home, yeah.
Well, then you can have the camera on. So what is prana? Do you have any idea?
Prana is the same like, in other, they're saying it's the same like chi, it is the main life energy. Um, yeah, but that is the main
You see,
life force.
like fish is available in the ocean of water, in the water body. Similarly, we are in the body of air and prana. Air is different, prana is different. We can suck in air.
Plant is the basic fabric of
Please, please
creation.
keep quiet at the moment, please. Hemlata, I shall give you a chance. You can raise hand and I shall ask you again, okay? So it is like you have to how much air you can take in depending on the capacity of your lungs. Similarly, the prana can be taken in depending on the capacity of the karmic thing, substance. Let us not say body, etc. Is it? How does it come? That is also coming from parents. So the whole body is given by parent. It's a very complex thing to understand, really. And we did discuss it in level 1 and level 2, a little bit of it. And if you want to know, you have to come to basics to understand. Now, what we are now understanding is, yes, Hemlata, you wanted to ask something. Please go ahead. क्या पूछना है हेमलता जी आपको? पूछिए, कैमरा ऑन कर सकते हैं कि नहीं? अभी लेटे हैं बेड पे?
नहीं सर, अभी थोड़ा बेटर है पहले से।
पूछना है कुछ?
नहीं सर।
ओके। तो अभी हम लोग समझ गए कि 8 जब तक वेसल बनते हैं तब तक हमारे 12 मेरिडियन भी बन जाते हैं। और हम लोग कह सकते हैं कि इट इज द मेरिडियंस हैव कम इनटू एग्जिस्टेंस ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ द डिवीजन ऑफ द इनसाइड द सेल, द जायगोट। और उसमें 8 बेसिक थिंग है। उसके बाद हाथ बनना शुरू हुआ, पैर बनना शुरू हुआ, आंख, नाक, कान एंड ऑल इंटरनल बॉडीज, एवरीथिंग स्टार्टेड getting made and they started moving. Not that where they started so moving. What do I mean? These organs started getting made in center, and then something went up, something went down, something went right, some went left. All these movements, they are started moving, and in the process the 8 vessels and the 12 meridians were created, as I have told you right now. Some kind of image you should have in your mind. So we cannot say that meridians are independent. Meridians are all connected. And if the vessels were not to be made, coming into existence, the meridian would not have come into existence. How this is happening? So Chinese have another theory. What they have? Theory is that they say that there is a Dantian. Dantian, have you heard? Dantian. There are 3 Dantians, upper, middle, and lower. So the lower Dantian, that is also known as moving chi. That is in between the 2 kidney. Right? So in between the 2 kidneys. From there is a bifurcation. Some goes up and some goes down. What will go up? That which is yang. That which is yang goes up. That which is yin will come. Why? Yin is heavier. Yang is lighter. Right? So yang goes up. So they said, how this is getting divided. That which came into existence, which was having more movement, more yang, more movement was more, that was very young, that came out first. And it went up. The first movement went up and went to the right. That's what Chinese said. I don't know what is the basis. But the first movement, as we understand after knowing all the 5 element theory, the first movement is kind of wood, wind energy. And they said that this goes up to the right, the yin. So that was the first instance when Chinese said right is yin. So it was from the Ming men, that is from in between the kidney. And it went up, right? So these 8 extraordinary vessels started getting made. How? First it went to right, up and right in the body, right from in between the kidney. And then it again got divided into 2. It again got divided into 2. And that which went to left, that also got divided into 2. So right, it goes up to right, the yin. So right, they said it is yin. So left became the yang. So that which was more yang, that went to left, and that also got divided into 2. So you can have an imagery. How you can have the imagery? The, the, the chi which went up on the right, that got divided into front and back. Similarly, the chi that was yang, the yin went on the right and the yang went on the left. The left also got divided into front and back. So in the front we have 2 vessels and the back also we have 2 vessels. Which one is the most yang? We know how yin and yang has been divided. We have studied yin and yang in basics. Front is yin, back is yang, top is yang, bottom is yin, right? So what is happening? On the back it would be, so left is yang, and when it is divided
And
into
back.
left and back, so the left back is the most yang.
Mostly.
So whatever vessel you are trying to map on the left back, that vessel has maximum yang chi. And remember, because everything is coming out of Ming Men, moving chi, whatever, that is between the 2 kidneys. So all these 8 vessels are also connected to that particular junction, that particular thing, Ming Men. What is Ming Men? It is kidneys. They are connected to kidneys. What is available at Ming Men? Moving chi. Where do we get the moving chi from? We get the moving chi from kidneys. Right kidney and left kidney. Both of them, they generate chi. And when we say chi, then mostly, what is the specialty of it? The original chi. That is the specialty. The rest, of course, whatever kidney is generating is there, but original chi is also there. What does it mean? That all these vessels will also have a lot of original chi. And all these vessels are connected to kidney. So 2 things we have made it very clear. What are the 2 things that I have said? All these 8 vessels are connected to kidneys. Every vessel is connected to kidneys. And they have certain intensity of chi available with each of them, unique intensity of chi. Some has yang, some has yin, some has more yang, some has more yin, etc. So we will try to see which vessel has what kind of quality of chi. That also we will see. Try to analyze. Is it all right? Now, why these extraordinary vessels are interesting for us, the therapists, and how does it help in our treatment, etc. So the Chinese said that there are 8 vessels. So the yang which has gone up, it has got divided into 4. Similarly, the yin which has gone down, that has also been divided into 4. So the most yin chi will be where?
Right front.
Right front. Bottom, right, front. Bottom, right, front. And most yang is top, left, back. And we will see what are those vessels, what are the names, what are the points, how do we treat. It has different names. They call it strange conduits also. But no one really knows the shape. No one really knows the shape of these vessels. But because all these eight vessels have been created out of these force of separation between endoderm and mesoderm, right? And because it has been separate, so that separation and the meridians in between. But the shape of these vessels are not known to anyone. Not known to anyone. And how is this? This depending on the kind of force, the electrical force and the magnetic force. That means depending on the quality of a sperm and ovum and the space where you are born. Depending on that, also chi will be available in your vessels. So vessels in every person will have a unique chi depending on the quality of their parents and the configuration or the position, topography where he was born or wherever it is. Is it making sense? The factors are parents, mother and father, plus where you are born. So the races developed, you know the races, African race, European race, Asian race, they differ, isn't it? They differ in their structure, in their color, in their height, size, strength, everything they differ, isn't it? That is known as race. Chinese are also race, yellow people. We are also race, brown people, isn't it? Because depending on the place, depending on the parents, you have these. So that means the structure of the body will depend a lot on the chi available in the vessels. Now, this is a very important, it's a very important sentence, a statement. If you agree with it, it is okay. If you do not agree, I shall repeat it again, or you can ask questions. It's very important. So what I said, that for structural changes, for racial things which is there in you, intrinsic property of your parents and of the place where you are born, if you want to do something of that, it is better that you treat through extraordinary vessels. Am I making a point? Siddharna ji,
हाँ सर
ये स्टेटमेंट
Sir,
आपको
you're saying so.
हेलो
Even this is dictated the DNA. It affects the DNA also, DNA structure.
DNAs are what? See, most basic thing that is coming from parents are coming as chromosomes. And a lot of chromosomes, they make DNA. And on that, so on the basis of the DNA, genes are developed. So maybe in one base, there can be 20,000 genes. Now, let us not get into the embryology or the medical science. Let us try to imagine what I am talking about. Chi. Well, just understand chi. Don't get into it. Because that is not still final. People will come the other day in the future, people will come and they will define differently. RNA, DNA, there are so many things, isn't it? Chromosomes, then genes. So all this is there. What Everything is chi. Everything is chi. And chi, what is the intrinsic property of chi? How does it differ from energy? What is the difference between energy and chi? The chi moves on its own. And the energy for its movement, it requires some stimulus. Some maybe potential difference or level difference or whatever. Density difference, concentration difference, etc., etc. Chi also moves from higher level to lower level, no doubt. But remember, everything, if you want movement, you will have to have chi. For real-time movement, you must have chi. If there is no chi, you cannot move. हमारे यहाँ पे हम लोग क्या कहते हैं, प्राण है तो शरीर में मूवमेंट रहेगा. If there is प्राण, then you can move. If there is no movement, that means you are nishprana. So similarly, chi is responsible for movement. So we can have an analogy between chi and prana, more or less. Chi also is, we are saying that without chi, no movement. Prana also, we say that without prana, no movement. But prana, we say that is, prana also, we say that it is what? Basic fabric of creation in our Upanishads. Prashna Upanishad, that explicitly says so. Right? So we also call chi as the basic fabric of creation. Right? And this chi is available in the vessels. Right? And in the formation of 8 vessels, in between there are 12 meridians. And maybe many more meridians are there, depending on the requirements in the formation of body and mind. But remember, all these vessels are not same in every human being. Depending on the quality, depending on the characteristics of the sperm and the ovum, right? The first ectoderm and endoderm, they started getting separated. So these vessels are depending on what? The parents, right? So electrical force, of course, and magnetic force, of course. Why? Magnetic force is also changing. As you go on the globe, wherever you are, it's a different kind of field is there. So Ray says if there is a lot of difference between place, lot of difference between parents, then there can be different kinds of vessels will be generated. Right? What is meant by that? It's meant by these vessels are made, means structure is made. Right? That is the fundamental thing. Unless there is a structure, the prana is, because we have body, therefore we experience prana in it. So remember, any structural problem if you have, any kind of genetic problem which you have brought from parents, if you can really want to help, you may not be able to help because these vessels, if you treat, they may not be really help you to solve all the genetic problems and genetic diseases. But in case you want to really do, right, in case there is some basic changes are there, as you are expecting a child in, say, in Africa, the African parents, and if he is not as per that, what you should do, you should only treat vessels. Suppose in India, some child is born with some basic problem. That time you don't worry, you don't have to go to the meridians. Right then and there, you treat the child with the EOVs, extraordinary vessels. You don't have to do anything. Few cases that I treated. One of the child, he was a small child, say 1.5 year old, only maybe, or maybe even less. So the parents were trying to make him stand. So he always used to do his legs like this. I know. So I only applied color on the EOB master points. And it was corrected. There was a child, he went into coma. And it was very difficult. He was a very small child. He won't say anything. And he was in coma, but still his eyes were open and he was moving, this, that. But he was in coma. That's what the doctor said. I had never seen a coma like that. In coma means no movement. That is what I was understanding more or less. But that was not so. He was in coma, but his eyes were blinking. He was making some funny sounds, but he was not able to recognize anything, see anything. He was not conscious whether mother is there or not. Nothing he was conscious. I did the same thing. And the parents bowed down to me. I also was surprised because I didn't know myself what to do. I just did it for the sake of doing it. The results were surprising. So this is the force of extraordinary vessel. If you know it, if you know certain basic things about it, then you can do a wonderful job. And meridians, they are born out of, because the vessels are forming, therefore the meridians form. So when you are treating vessels, you are also trying to influence the meridians. They may not be fully influenced, but some influence will be there in every meridian, whichever meridian. So we ought to know which vessels will affect which meridians. That connections also we will see. We will try to study. This is also known as Qi Jing Ba Mai, which means strange or mysterious. Jing means meridians or channels, and Ba means 8. They are not really meridians. No one knows about its shape and size. All this shape and size will depend, as I told you, depending on where he is born and who are the parents. So your body and mind is a gift, is given to you by your parents only. Of course, the planetary situation, if the planets were not there, we would not have been here on the planet. Earth has to be there. Okay. So even Jyotish Shastra is correct. Why? Because astrology, that is study of the objects in the sky, isn't it? They are responsible for all the magnetic force, isn't it? Isn't it? So the magnetic force, now because it is working, the ovum has come out of the chi of the mother, and which is the solely responsible for the electrical force for the creation of the body. Therefore, till certain age, till certain period of time, maybe a couple of years or maybe 3 years, 3.5 years, the mother and child connection, even if the child is away, the mother is connected. Electrical waves. Because the ovum by which the child has been made, that ovum is part and parcel of the chi of the mother. I don't know, maybe you are there, three or four of you are there who are mothers. You might have felt anything happens to your child, you have an inkling. The child is sleeping in some other room, and if suddenly that child awakes, the father won't listen, the siblings won't listen, the mother listens. She know, oh, उठ गया बच्चा.
सर मेरी वाइफ के साथ है, उसके साथ प्रॉब्लम ये है, लड़के के साथ उसका कनेक्शन है, लड़का जब परेशान होता है तो वाइफ को ना जस्ट लाइक ददोरे बनने शुरू हो जाते हैं ठीक से। तो उसको पता लग जाता है कि भाई मेरा लड़का परेशान है, तो उसके पास जाके पूछती है तू क्यों
But
परेशान हो रहा
it is not certain that up to what age this connection is substantial. Slowly, this connection breaks. And as per our Indian knowledge system, Vedas and Upanishads, some of the sages, they say that after a certain age of around, say, 21 years, 18 to 21 years, this connection is separated, finished.
है? Okay.
That
Okay, okay.
electromagnetic waves, they get disconnected. And they say, I don't know much. Whatever little I know, I'm trying to share with you. So now you know that this Chi Jing Ba Mai, that means that is strange, conduits 8 in number. Which these things are not very well understood. But what they found, Chinese, that if some problem is there which is not getting solved, that is not getting treated, that is no response is coming, and suddenly if you treat extraordinary vessel, the response comes in. In the beginning, they were very little known. Of late, as I have experienced in any and every situation, it is I advise my students to give treatment of EOVs first. And I find that my students are very happy. In fact, a few of my students, after learning these classes, EOVs, they said, I don't want to learn anything further. This is giving me a very good result and I'm happy with running my clinic. Sir, we don't need much. In the remotest of the villages, they are the two of them who said this. In the south only they are. So, and they are working. They are working, I don't know. So I have tried to give you an idea of what is EOV and how it is connected to especially the structural problems, the genetic problems. But mind you, all structural problems and all genetic problems may not be solved by only extraordinary vessels, or even for that matter, because whatever has happened has passed. If there is a threshold of everywhere, if you have crossed the threshold, you cannot go back. You can't do anything. If the raw material is good, then only you expect the finished product to be good. Right? And as Sundar was asking about Pran, we were discussing, as I told him that as the fish is living in the water body, we are living in the body of air that we can feel. And also with the air, there is Pran. And if we want to take, suppose some water we want to take out of the water body with the help of a bucket or a pail of water, similarly, the Pran is taken. How much Pran is taken? How much you can take depends on the capacity. So what is that pail? What is that bucket? The uterus in the female body. So how much Pran she can take? And karmic thing which is coming and trying to get into the womb. Right? Maybe after 48 days approximately. Not before that. So I have tried to explain the Chinese wisdom in the light of whatever we know, the Indian wisdom. If you have any questions, you can ask me now.
तो मेरे को नहीं समझ में आया ये ईओबी का ना।
आप लेट आए ना, you should
ये
listen.
सब
You listen to the recording tomorrow. Okay? कोई जरूरत नहीं है, अभी तो ट्रीटमेंट कुछ हुआ ही नहीं है, अभी तो कुछ हुआ ही नहीं है, अभी तो खाली फिलोसफी हो रही है, है ना। लेट आने से थोड़ी तो नुकसान तो हो जाता है, कांट
तो
हेल्प
मैं भी
इट।
लेकर आई।
सर
हाँ,
गेस्ट आ रहे हैं, क्या करूं?
क्या करूं? कल को सुनो इसको, पूरा रिकॉर्डिंग हो रही है, क्या करने का क्या है, कल सुनो। फिर उसके बाद क्वेश्चंस करना है ना। ओके, तो extraordinary vessel, that is strange conduits or extra meridians, they also affect your shen, not only body, the shen is also affected. And shen also depends on those two things. Which things? The parents, that is mother, father, and the place, and the environment. That also. खाली स्कूल में भेजने से आदमी साइंटिस्ट नहीं बनता है. Most of the scientists, they never went to
You're
school.
not good.
कुछ तो बात है. So these meridians, they are kind of a system, and they are all part of the same system. So now we know that these 8 meridians, they are connected to GV4 or DU4. Did I tell you this? Kidneys, they are connected to kidneys. If you treat kidney, the maybe the quantity or the quality of chi inside your vessel can be a little bit influenced, can be changed. So what are the points that we have said today? Has anybody made any notes? What we said?
पर थोड़ा सा ही बनाया मैंने, जो लेट ही ज्वाइन किया था ना,
बताइए.
कि अप एंड जो राइट साइड में जाती है चीज, फिर वो दो में डिवाइड होती है, यिन या यांग में। तो उसमें जो हमारा लेफ्ट और बैक मोस्ट यांग होता है, और जो डाउन जाती है वो भी दो में डिवाइड होती है।
तो
तो
जो
हमारा
ऊपर,
राइट
हाँ, तो जो ऊपर गया वो भी
ऊपर जाएगा वो यांग।
चार
हाँ
हिस्सों में बट गया, और
हाँ,
जो नीचे गया वो भी 4 हिस्सों में
वो
बट
भी
गया.
चार।
तो अब हमें मालूम पड़ गया कि 4 ऊपर वाले और 4 नीचे वाले, ये 8 वेसल्स हमारे
8।
काम करेंगे. ऊपर वाले काम करेंगे यांग में, नीचे वाले यिन. यिन भारी होता है, यिन नीचे है, यांग ऊपर है.
और जो राइट में हमारा फ्रंट में होगा वो मोस्ट यन हो जाएगा।
मोस्ट यिन होगा. यिन और यांग का तो हम लोग जानते हैं बेसिक्स.
एंड ये हमारे लाइक स्ट्रक्चर चेंजेस पे, जेनेटिक पे, और अब आपने बताया शेन पे, तीनों पे वर्क करते हैं ज्यादा।
हाँ, जेनेटिक, स्ट्रक्चर और
एंड शेन।
शेन हो, हाँ, बॉडी हो, शेन हो, दोनों चीजों पर काम करते
ओके,
हैं. और सारे मेरिडियंस से ये कनेक्टेड है. 4 बातें
कनेक्टेड
लिख
है।
लीजिए, ये चारों बातें लिख लीजिए. The vessels are connected to different meridians. More than one meridian you must say, note it down. Every vessel is connected to more than one meridian. Every vessel is connected to kidneys, number 2. And every vessel, the vessels are created primarily before meridians, depending on the quality of the
Sperm and
parent.
ovum.
That parent means the sperm and the ovum, and the place that you are born. Right? Now, this is all we are talking about prenatal things. Mostly. The postnatal means, suppose you are born in Africa and you come to India for a study, things will change. A little bit of difference will come. And maybe in Shen also something will change. But those basic things, the core substance, वो रहेगा. That you cannot change. अगर किसी की killing है habit, that memory, last, if you remember the basics, I told you there are 6 varieties of memory. So the genetic memory which is coming through chromosomes and genes, killing what do you call it, है आपके सबसे. So that will not go. Maybe you will change in this educated and civilized society, but if your father, your father's father, your father's father, everybody was a Kasai, he had been killing. So that thing will be there in the genetics. That will be there in your mind and body. And anytime if it gets conducive atmosphere, it will come up. समझ में आ रही है आपके बात? नहीं, एक सेमिनार था few days back. I was asked to talk about why crime is increasing and what we should do in the society. I told them that if you are improving the quality of cows, if you are improving the breed of dogs, why can't you improve the breeding and the quality of human beings? कर सकते हैं ना उसको. So what we can do, we can select place, we can select parents. Why everybody should be given permission to procreate? किसी ने किसी से शादी करके किसी से बच्चा पैदा कर लिया तो ऐसे ही होंगे फिर. प्लान्ड तो नहीं होगा. नहीं. एक होता प्लान्ड सिटी. स्टील सिटी इज प्लान्ड सिटी, बोकारो इज प्लान्ड सिटी, Chandigarh is a planned city. There are so many places which are planned city. Look at them and look at the chaotic development of habitats. Anyway, so we have understood it. If you have any questions, otherwise, what we will do tomorrow, we will go ahead of this. Tomorrow, we will see the names and original chi versus EOV. I have said one thing. There's another thing. What we have said is every vessel has original chi and also the kidney chi. Plus, it is connected to meridians. More than one meridian. Every vessel is connected with more than one meridian. That also we will have to find out. And we will have a chart made which vessel. Chinese have done a lot of work on that. So we will see those charts.
तो
Now,
सर ये एक्यूट प्रॉब्लम्स पे भी वर्क कर देता है ईओवी?
नहीं, क्यों नहीं करेगा? सारे मेरिडियंस को देख रहा है ना भाई, सारे
करेक्ट.
मेरिडियन इफेक्ट हो रहे हैं ना. ये सब समझ में आ जाएगी सब बात.
Sir, when these EOEs they were discovered by Chinese.
I don't know. Yeah, what are you asking, Sundar? How does it help you? Thousands
Is
of
it
years.
something new?
It's not new.
Okay.
It's not. People have not been able to explain. They have not been able to understand. What they found is they gave different kind of thoughts. They gave hypothesis. पानी ज्यादा बरस जाता है तो पानी इकट्ठा हो जाता है, वो पानी किसी गड्ढे में चला जाता है, उसको बाद में यूज कर. ऑल दोज काइंड्स ऑफ थिंग्स केम. फिर एक समुंदर है, समुंदर के सामने एक दीवार बना दी है, फिर उसकी लहर से ज्यादा पानी आ जाता है इस तरफ, तो दैट इज देयर इन द vessels. All this is rubbish. As per our Indian knowledge, what I have said is that is what I understand. The two things, ectoderm and endoderm, when they get separated, one is yin, goes down, and one is yang. One is renmo, the other is dumo, and they have their own points. They are very much visible. So they have different, though they are connected to the other, because these two only became 4 and the 4 only became 8. So these two is connected to with all the 8, all the rest of the 6. The rest of the 6 of the vessels are connected to each to these two. That which has gone down means all yin will be connected to Ren, and all yang will be connected to गवर्नर वेसल. ठीक, बहुत से लोग पूछते हैं ना, इसमें पॉइंट्स हैं, अपने इंडिपेंडेंट पॉइंट्स हैं, है ना अपर्णा? तो 2 से ही शुरू हुआ ना? नहीं, 2 ही था. फर्स्ट मूवमेंट क्या होगा? 1 का 2 होगा. वो जो 2 हुआ उसके बाद ही उसके ब्रांचेस, सब ब्रांचेस हैं सब.
4 बना.
तो वो 6 तो सब ब्रांचेस ही हैं सब, समझो. बाकी 2 तो मेन है. कौन से? एक रेन और एक डू. चलो, so tomorrow we will try to see a little more, and for today it is enough. Now if you have any questions about this, you can ask me now, and if you don't have, we will close this. Okay, so we are closing it.
Sir, you said the EOE. Sorry, sir. You said
कैमरा
because
ऑन
of the
करके
EOE is only the
पूछ
Meridians.
सकते हैं आप. अभी कैमरा ऑन कर सकते हैं ना, घर पे हैं आप शाम को.
एक मिनट सर, कैमरा.
ऐसा बैठा करिए जहां पर आप कैमरा ऑन कर सके. Always you arrange your place in such a way, and we will be trying to come to the classes 5 days a week mostly. 2 days we will have gap, but in case of some emergency or something, if we may again break, there is no hard and fast rule. Yes, Sundar, you were asking something.
Yeah, actually, you said the EOE because EOE is only meridians are formed, but the EOE points themselves are there inside in some meridian only.
What are points? What are acupoints? Acupoints are the points where substantial amount of chi is accumulated. नहीं, बहुत से तमाशा बताते हैं. Ecu means needle and point means. मत जाइए इसमें. You will not be able to treat and not be able to make your own formula. Accumulation of sufficient. Now, accumulation of sufficient amount of chi is there. But why these points are the points which are influencing the vessels? That's what he's asking. The points which are known as master points. Now, these points itself, they are affecting the vessel. Do you know why? This we will discuss at length. What are the master points and why they affect and how they affect. You know something about it? Let us hear, because you have already done some EOV class somewhere. What do they say?
Yes. Yeah, there are totally 8 points correspond to 8 master points and a couple points. So your question was how does it come again, sir?
These meridian points only, they affect the vessels. Why? How they affect?
Yeah. How they affect? They are connected to, although they are part of one specific meridian, they have their own pathway. They are somehow connected to
so
other meridians,
yeah, this somehow I shall
meridians.
Don't worry. This somehow I shall explain.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay.
So somehow ही रहेगा. No one knows. You have to have your own hypothesis, which should fit the reasoning. Then only it settles in your mind and you will never forget. Right? Otherwise, it will be only somehow they are connected. Now, SP4 is connected to penetrating vessel. How? What does it do? What is a master point? What does it do? SI3 is the master point of do more. What does it do? How it is connected? What it will do? How will it affect? If you put a needle on SI3, what is going to happen? If you know already, then you can select SI3 whenever you want. Based on that, we can make form rules also, of course. Make it. Okay? So master points, we have not taken today. We will take it up. What are master points? Sure. There are 8 vessels and each vessel has a master point. And some of them also has Z-clef points. So you should know what is Z-clef points. Not all the vessels have Z-clef points. Okay. Shall we close it? Or anyone has any other question? Okay, we are closing it.
सर
गुड नाइट
पॉसिबल हो तो
सर।
रिकॉर्डिंग भेज दीजिएगा।
हाँ, रिकॉर्डिंग जरूर भेजेंगे, क्यों नहीं भेजेंगे, ग्रुप
नहीं
में।
अभी जैसे आज लेट ज्वाइन किया ना तो सुन लेंगे अभी रात में।
हाँ जी, देखते हैं, करते हैं कोशिश।
ठीक।